We are again in the losers bracket of the Enter the Storm tournament, and today we have TeamLiquid going up against Alternate Fancy. And well, we saw last time what happened when TeamLiquid was playing their match there, and I can tell you one thing, they are still angry. They are still very, very mad that they are in the losers bracket here, and they want to advance. But Alternate Fancy on the first map, which is Tomb of the Spider Queen, got a very interesting draft through. They have Zeratul here, which is great for them. They are playing their very own version of the auto attack build, which is extremely strong for them. And they are also running with Muradin and Tyrande, like a lineup or a setup that worked for them in the past a lot. They had a huge success in the tournament so far with this. TeamLiquid on Tomb of the Spider Queen is going again into a composition that is very strong when it comes to controlling the lanes and pushing. We're having them with Sylvanas and Zagara and also Nubarak again. So let's find out who's going to take it here. Will TeamLiquid fall to Alternate Fancy on the first map of the best of 3 series, or is the Spanish team strong enough to take the lead once again? First game coming up right now.
The game is live, and it is the losers bracket match between TeamLiquid and Alternate Fancy. The first game of the best of 3 series here at the Enter the Storm tournament. And as you can see to the left side of the map, we are having TeamLiquid with Vortex on Uther, Falcon on Thagala, Black Scorp on Sylvanas, Granapakete on Brightwing, and Lucifron on Nubarak. To the right side of the map, their opponents, Alternate Fancy, one of the 2 alternate teams going up against them here on Tomb of the Spider Queen, with Darkmok on Zeratul, Devis on Tyrande, Crosby on Vala, Blumby on Muradin, and Happy on Rega. This is the first game of the series. I'm Khaldor, with me is Shamtu, and we're going to bring you the coverage here on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
And already we have both these teams just running straight on into the mid lane with most of their fighting might, except for Brightwing. She's going to go into the bot lane. We've got a seasoned marksman coming out here on the Zeratul, so Darkmok going for a little bit more of that AD damage based on how much he's going to be able to lane. There already is the Muradin chain stun on Lucifron, getting in there with the Tyrande as well. So very, very nicely done here, but not going to be able to get that first blood.
Yeah, but already a really nice shot there, so making sure that TeamLiquid definitely knows what they're up against. TeamLiquid, of course, many people didn't really expect them to drop into the loser bracket this fast. They lost in the first round against Pushik team, dropped in the loser bracket, and have been dominating down there ever since. But Alternate Fancy is definitely no pushover, and they are very solid. They're actually climbing the ranks in Europe throughout the last few weeks, and this is going to be a very nice game between the 2 top teams here. TeamLiquid, of course, they want to make up for that earlier loss and really show their fans some great gameplay, but let's find out if they can do that. And these builds that we're seeing, especially on the side of Alternate Fancy, is designed to snipe heroes. It's really all about the pressure against heroes, whereas TeamLiquid is more focusing on the pushing power.
Yeah, and with that build, you were talking about being able to snipe those heroes down. The Zeratul going to be able to get onto the back line. The Muradin going to be able to chain CC somebody down. The question is, who are they going to go for? They have to be very careful that they don't overextend when they go for this massive CC stun into damage. But Alternate Fancy, I'm sure they know exactly who they need to be going for in these team fights. So far, they're getting pretty good lane dominance.
Yeah, Lucifron is already turning in. I mean, map control on this map is extremely important. Falcon, of course, is already running this with creep everywhere that he's currently spreading. Lucifron getting a bit low, but Vortex is there to heal him out. They're running a double healer lineup, and that, of course, is going to help the heroes a lot to stay alive. That really works against that sniper potential that we're having on the side of Alternate Fancy. And so far, Liquid really starting to dominate the mid lane here.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job of just making sure that pretty much all of their lanes are going to keep pushing in. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we see that Crosby is doing a pretty good job of keeping Brand Packet back, but right now it looks like it's going to keep going back over to TeamLiquid. Oh man, Happy using the little secret corridor at the top of the top lane there to get back into his own fort. Vortex taking a lot of damage. Blumby actually taking a lot of damage as well. Vortex just barely surviving, even though the Sentinel did connect.
And Vortex just moves back in. The balls of steel there, going straight in for that again instead of just moving to the left to go for well. We, by the way, do not have Promote, a talent that we've been talking about during the draft quite a lot, because with this heavy of a push lineup, having a Nubarak with the Beatles, Zagara with a pushing power, and Sylvanas with the Black Arrow, we kind of expected them to maybe even drop the Promote on level 4 on Brightwing so that they have additional presence on the map and can really pressure those walls, and of course the forts early on. But it is the double protective shield that we're seeing on the 2 healers.
You know what? I really, really wanted to see that promote because of just, you know, toting up that the NA meta, but at the same time, I see the merit of getting that protective shield just because of how much single target damage is going to be able to come in here, and they need to mitigate all of that, and with the protective shields, that's going to be able to happen.
Again, in the attempt to take down the creep tumors. Yeah, keep in mind that we're also seeing that additional build on Zeratul. It's a very different build from the popular auto-attack build that it exists these days. In this case, we're having Seasoned Marksman on level 1, the Vorpal Blades on level 4, and then on level 7 it's going to be the Searing attack that we're going to see for the hero here. And already in the mid lane, there's Devis together with Blumbion Muradin and Crossbjorn Isvala trying to take down Lucifer again. No kill in this game thus far, but I have to say that it's not for lack of trying.
Yeah, they've definitely been trying to get these small little engagements left and right, but unfortunately just the sustainability and surviving power of Team Liquid survives throughout the ridiculous chain stun of Muradin and Tyrande. So they're doing a really good job of just kind of keeping everything alive, but Team Liquid, with their ridiculous pushing power, starting to take a pretty good experience advantage. Black Corp looks like he is actually going to go down, though, if Darkmok can get the last little hit. No, Black Corp gets away.
And Tyrande with an owl trying to take him down. Black Scorp escapes though. Really well done here. I'm kinda liking this game. 0 kills thus far, but boy, they have really been trying to get these kills in. Just small rotations on the map, trying to gank somebody. It is quite entertaining to see that happening here. Cleanse taken now on Uther. We have also the rapid incubation on Zagara for the extra heals. This is such a high-paced game, and this could be the kill, and it is! It is Lucifer who dies on his Nubarak. The Beetle goes down. Well done by Alternate Fancy. They get the first blood in the game.
Yes, and that's going to be a nice little victory for them already because, you know, they're starting to get pushed in. Yet again, Black Corp taking a lot of damage. Can they actually get another kill here? It looks like it's so close. There is the beautiful Lunar Flare to finish it up. Darkmok trying to do a good amount of damage here to Vortex, but no, he can't finish off that fight, so he's going to back up. And that is actually going to allow for Team Liquid to get the first turn-in on the bot side of the map.
Team Liquid losing 2 heroes, but they are still on the same level of experience as their opponents, and now they're starting to push in with the first web weavers descending for them. We have a level 7 for both of the teams, and we're seeing on the side of Tyrande, we're having Battle Momentum taken on level 7 and not Lunar Blaze, which you oftentimes see for the extended range on your Lunar Flare, so that is going to help, of course. Feral Heart on the side of Rhaegar on level 4, by the way, so he's going to stay in wolf form for a long time in this game to try and get his mana and his hit points back up, and the Colossal Totem on level 1, no healing totem, we already talked about this. Engagement once again, Uther so low, but he survives. No, he doesn't. The double kill. 2 of the heroes dying here. It's Zeratul and Muradin. They're trying to get the kill against Vala as well. Uther is down, and Black Scorp just finishes off Vala in this case. Very, very well done here by the assassin player for Team Liquid.
Team Liquid playing so incredibly aggressively, and that allows them to get that level 10 very, very quickly here. And man, Black Scorp, just absolutely no fear, uses the Haunting Wave to go straight on through a brush to go for the kill there on Crosby. Very, very well played here so far. And they've picked up all of their abilities: Divine Shield, Devouring Maw, Wailing Arrow, Blink Heal, and that Locust Swarm. Can they use this to get a little bit more of a victory out of these pushing Web Weavers? I don't think so, but who knows?
They have been riding that momentum wave hard, taking down the wall in the mid lane. They have a 2-level lead, and this is really impressive what they are currently showcasing here. If, of course, you win one of those team fights and you have the Web Weavers already moving towards your opponent's base, then you can just use Sylvanas with the Black Arrow trade and Zagara to push that in even harder. So job well done by Team Liquid. It's not over just yet, but Team Liquid definitely getting a significant lead in this game already.
Yeah, they're doing really, really well so far, and they're keeping that pressure up. They're keeping it alive. Interesting to note is that we normally see Brightwing go for a scouting drone at level 1, but Bribe actually picked up instead. Coming down here, she's been constantly bribing up these siege giants and giving them like the ability to just kind of keep pushing down that bot lane, which is just constantly keeping Alternate Fancy to keep going down there and deal with those.
One of the things is just that you don't necessarily need the scouting drone, I feel, if you're running Zagaras in your composition, just because the creep tumors already give you that vision anyways, if Zagara is doing her job. So Falcon has been laying creep tumors all over the place, and they are still controlling that turn, and they know that there are only 4 gems missing for their opponents, but we have 15 on the side of Team Liquid. They don't quite get the turn in, but they're very close to that as well. Once again, the battle in the main, and just look at this, the kill against Tyrande. The Void Prison just a bit too late. Grand Paquette is super low. Khaldor was trying to jump in, keeps himself alive with a quick protective shield that he's been using there. Blumby is trying to escape. Darkmog healed by Rhaegar in the last second, but he's still very low. And Uther is trying to stun out Rhaegar. And there it is, the stun and the follow-up. Oh my god, barely missed by an Uberak and gets away.
That was so incredibly close, and Huberek almost had that, but that easily lets them turn in another set of gems. They've already taken down the bottom fort as well, so that top fort is now going to be under pressure, and that allows them to be very, very aggressive. Maybe they push down a keep, maybe they just take that top fort. Either way, though, they're going to get level 13, and that's going to be a really nice little talent advantage for them.
Yeah, that is definitely true. That talent advantage is going to help them to push with the Web Weavers. There's nothing more annoying than your opponent being able to turn in and get a talent lead at the same time. We're already having a bit of a fight, an attempt to take down Luciphron. Again, if they get that, that would be great, but they're using most of their heroics already. Luciphron gets away. What about Grand Paquette? Is there going to be another stun? Yes, there is, and not enough follow-up just yet. Grand Paquette moves away, dodges the Lunar Flare, and they might get the kill. They get the kill against Zeratul. Oh my god, this is just amazing. Team Liquid keeping their heroes alive and getting one kill. Might get another one. Yes, they... Well, not... Blumby! Oh, and they get the kill against Rhaegar!
And now they're going to try and turn this back around.
No way!
Yeah, he's not going to get out of there. And
Just
this
wow.
Is absolutely domination. Team Liquid, pretty upset they're in the losers bracket. Definitely making that known. It's 14-11, 7 kills to 3, but keeps are now starting to go down at 10 minutes.
Yeah, and this is crazy. I mean, this was insane. They kept both of their heroes alive that were chased by Alternate Fancy. Alternate Fancy were the team that was trying to get the kill as the Web Weavers were descending, just so that they have an easier time to defend and can maybe counter push. And Team Liquid, they keep both of them alive. They don't lose a single one of them, and then they just turn it around and casually take 3 kills.
And they're not going to casually just take 3 kills. They're going to casually take 2 keeps. And that's going to be a huge amount of pressure. Level 15 to level 12, Khaldor.
That's how my quick matches look like.
15 and a half to 12. So that means they're going to hit 16 before 13 is even grabbed.
15 versus 12 without a 6-minute queue. When was the last time you saw that?
Oh, but it looks like they're going to potentially grab a whole bunch of people here of Alternate Fancy. Can Alternate Fancy actually turn this around on Vortex? No, it's not going to happen. Luciphron re-engaging yet again, but remember, there's a huge talent here, as well as a ton of levels. Bloomby taking too many hits. He's going to go down trying to take out Vortex. Not going to be successful. Deviz trying to disengage here, but Blackscorp coming on in here. On to Happy, on to Deviz, but actually no, that's going to be Darkmock who's going to go down next. And Happy's so close to going down, but it doesn't matter. Deviz going to be the next one to go down. And Blackscorp being so aggressive, teleporting on into the keep.
The Spanish Armada once again is just rolling over their opponents here. This is insane. They're like the Spanish Inquisition. They show no mercy. They just do not care. 16 versus 12. 10 kills versus 3. And they just keep dominating. 11 minutes and 50 seconds in, and they killed all 3 keeps of their opponents. And guys, this is not a pushover team. Alternate Fancy is currently, I think, rank 4, rank 5 on the European server. They are extremely strong, have played amazing matches in the past, but in this game, they just get hammered into the ground.
And such hammer isn't even in this game. They're getting hammered into the ground. No false stat either. No
yeah, which makes it even
so
better.
Many hammers are out of this, but they're still getting hammered into the ground. And they are doing really, really well here. That's the power of a pushing potential composition on this map. So, at least for Alternate Fancy's sake, 13 has been grabbed, but they don't have any keeps left. So this is going to be a little bit difficult for them to actually start turning this whole entire game around. They need to start not only just completely wiping Team Liquid multiple times, but they need to start actually taking all the forts down during that time without losing too much damage on the core from just catapults pushing everywhere.
I'm really, really interested to see how... in my head, I'm already in game 2, because I feel right now this would be the comeback of the century if Alternate Fancy is making that happen. I really feel that at this point they are going to be absolutely devastated about this loss. They need to turn this around somehow. And to get into that mindset where you tell yourself, alright, we can still do this, it's incredibly difficult. And I'm not talking only about the map here, I'm talking about the entire best of 3. They've been playing amazing games, Alternate Fancy. But TeamLiquid, they have for months been on a completely different level on the European server. And Pushing Team was the only team that was able to defeat them in the best of 3 series, which was absolutely mind-blowing to everybody observing it. Oh, here the stuns again against Lucifron, but look at that move against Muradin. He just barely gets healed with an Ancestral Lead and can then finally get the kill against Lucifron. Strafe is still active, but nobody is dying. Nobody is dying. This double healer combo is just keeping everybody alive. The kill against Tyrande, the kill against Draga. They're not getting Bloomby this time unless the boss is helping them and suddenly turns around and hammers him in the face. But down to the bot lane, Black Scorp. He is a born melee assassin. He wants his kills and he wants Vala.
They don't just want Vala, they don't want just kills, they want to win this game, and that's gonna be successful. Core is gonna fall here. TeamLiquid taking game number 1.
Congratulations, well played, and let's find out how Alternate Fancy is planning on coming back into this series.
Oh my god, TeamLiquid slaughtered them. This wasn't a game, this was a massacre. Somebody call the police because Alternate Fancy just got murdered. TeamLiquid, they're not kidding around, are they? That was incredible. They dominated the map from start to finish, took out Alternate Fancy and just left them no chance. This was absolutely insane. And Alternate Fancy, they are just probably just sitting there dazzled and they're like, oh my god, what just happened? But of course the team is really strong. I mean, Alternate Fancy, these guys, they are no pushovers and they will definitely try to get back at TeamLiquid. And it's super interesting what map they picked. It's loser's choice in this tournament. And Alternate Fancy said, we want to play Haunted Mines. All of a sudden we have Haunted Mines in a competitive game. And the thought process behind it is actually something that I love. They probably said, listen, nobody's playing this map. This tournament is loser's choice. We practice Haunted Mines. We go for a couple of really good early game drafts and then we try to use that against our opponents when we fall behind. And that's what they're trying here. And TeamLiquid might actually struggle against this. We're having in the draft already a hero like Arthur's being played. Kerrigan is played strong on Haunted Mines, of course, especially because of Venom on level 4. We have a couple of options for also promote here for the team, and this is going to be really interesting. I personally love Haunted Mines in competitive play. We don't see the map that often, but when we do, it's usually a really fun match. So let's jump into the second game and see if Alternate Fancy can come back, or if TeamLiquid is able to even take them down on their map choice on Haunted Mines here. This is going to be a good one, guys. So get some popcorn ready and we're going to jump into the map right now.
Alright guys, game is up. We have the second game between TeamLiquid and Alternate Fancy, as you can see here, and this is going to be a good one. Haunted Mines is the map, and to the left side, TeamLiquid with a 1-0 lead in the best of 3 series, running Tacita on Vortex. We have Falcon playing Zagara, Black Scorp playing Vala in this case, Grand Paquette on Brightwing, and Lucifron on Muradin. To the right side of the map, it is their opponent. It is Alternate Fancy. They got a Nuboract in the last game. Now they are playing the Beetle, played by Devis here. Crosby is playing Kelthas currently, Bloomby on Arthurs, Darkmog on Kerrigan, and Happy is playing Uther. This is going to be a great game. Having Haunted Mines in competitive is not something that we see too often, so this is quite the treat here. I'm already enjoying it, and I'm sure that Sham2 does as well.
Yes, I'm really curious to see if Alternate Fancy can turn this game around, because game number 1 was really one-sided for TeamLiquid. Can TeamLiquid get the quick victory again? Can they even just get any kind of victory again? Because Alternate Fancy, I'm sure they want to make sure that they don't seem to be complete pushovers.
Yeah, and at this point we're normally seeing, of course, a 4-man squad pushing the lane with the golem, and then one hero trying to defend. Already 4 heroes down at the bot lane here. The healer Zagara is taking the top lane, but in this case it looks like Alternate Fancy has a few different plans there. Nice move by Black Scorp, getting away with a quick vault. Bloomby was already trying to catch him out there. Level 1 talents, pretty standard so far, nothing out of the ordinary, no real adjustments to the map just yet. Level 4 in the early game is super important on Haunted Mines, so we could see some variations on the build for the two teams.
Yeah, we do see the Arcane Precision actually coming in here for the Brightwing, which is a little bit interesting. Bribe, of course, is a little bit less favored on this map because of how small amounts of Mercenary camps are here. But going for the Arcane Precision, they could easily kind of lock somebody down and then do a good amount of damage later on. Also helps out with the Grave Golem later on, but oh, Grand Package taking so much damage. Gonna be the first blood of the game. Gotta be always scared of that Kerrigan.
Yeah, one moment out of position, and with all that lockdown that we are seeing for Alternate Fancy, you will not stand a chance. That's exactly what happened there. Kerrigan locking them down, trying to go back to base, but already Brand Paqueta making sure that that's not going to happen anytime soon. At the top lane, Kerrigan is doing quite a bit of work against the towers here. Won't be able to take any of them down, but as long as you get the tower shots out of the way, that's already helping. Mines opening up, and the teams are going down at the bot lane. It's a bit of a trap that Alternate Fancy is currently setting up here. We have Zagara already in the mines, trying to get the first vision points at least, thanks to Creep, but so far no move down. Happy still waiting. Oh, they're going up to the mines. They're trying to catch them out. It's a 5 versus 4, and they're moving straight in for the kill against Grand Paquette again. Brightwing dying for the second time, and Vortex barely escaping into the mines again, but already being pursued and playing the elevator game to escape.
Yeah, I can't believe she actually got out of there, but Zagara has been running around in the bottom of the mines, or actually in the top of the mines, in the bottom level of the map, and actually picking up a good amount of skulls here. 16 skulls so far. Has to be scared, though. Doesn't know where the rest of the team is. Kael'thas already signaling on the way over there. So this is a little bit of a scary spot. We see the level 4 has been grabbed here. Brightwing not picking up promote, but we do have Tassadar with promotes. That's very nice for them already. Can they get everybody together and make this into a 5v5? That's going to be the question here. Already Uther taking a good amount of damage. Happy gonna have to back away here. Yeah, they're just going to let them have that boss.
Yeah, they split for a second. Alternate Fancy, they split, and that was the opportunity that TeamLiquid needed to turn around and do a lot of damage to Kerrigan and the other heroes there. So now already leaving the mines, they're thinking about entering again and going for the boss, but they will be way too late for that. They might be able to catch somebody that is trying to move back, but, well, they're going for the team fight, aren't they? Lucifron is already there, waiting for another stun, using his reverberation talent. They have Falcon backed up into a corner and take down Zagara. Bloomby barely surviving here, and that Hydra nearly took him out, but with a quick protective shield thanks to Uther, that risk has already been thwarted. So well done here by Alternate Fancy getting that kill, slightly in the lead with the experience, but still a pretty even trade on the Golem.
Yeah, 54 to 46, so they're both spawning up here. I'm curious to see who's going to be going for. Yeah, it looks like we're going to see at least TeamLiquid making their way. Oh, a pause on the map from Black Corp.
Yeah, a quick pause there, and that gives us an opportunity to talk about the talents for a second. Apparently it was a lag issue that they were talking about. We have Netherwind taken on Kael'thas instead of the potential gathering power here. Kerrigan, of course, with Envenom on level 4, very strong in the mine, since level 4 is really what matters here to get an early advantage. In this case, it was an even split on the Golems, with 54 skulls to 46. Shamtu already mentioned that we're having Promote taken on Tassadar, Brightwing still picking the protective shield, and we're seeing a multi-shot build for Vala with the Arsenal taken. Now we have a lot of Vala players that actually start to put in some variations, some hybrid builds with level 4 and not going for Arsenal here, but on this map, of course, it makes a whole lot of sense to go for it. Pushing is very important, and that's what they're trying to do. The pause already over, thankfully no big problems there, so we can just continue with the first golem of the game.
Yes, and both these teams are looking like they want to go take their Siege Giants really, really quickly. Of course, you can grab those as soon as your Golem or the enemy Golem walks past the first gate, and that will allow those Siege Giants to sit behind the first fort and actually whittle away that Golem very, very quickly. You can see these meekly little Golems making their way to the gates, trying to do as much damage as possible. The one for TeamLiquid just a little bit bigger here, and they've got promotes with the Vortexes. Tassadar coming out here as well, so they're doing pretty nicely right here. They actually look like they kind of want to back up a little bit.
Yeah, really angry posture there on the map by Alternate. I mean, they're going past the Golem, which you don't see all that often. I was really saying, like, guys, back off or we're going to take you down. It's at 5 versus 4. They kind of want to make up for that humiliation in the last map. They were not happy about that at all. Losing it against TeamLiquid is, of course, no shame considering how good this team is, but we don't want to lose in that fashion. So right now, they're taking down the Golem here. They of course take those Siege Giants at the right time. In case that you didn't know that, if you take the Siege Giants just when the Golem passes the keep at the top, then the Siege Giants will be behind the wall, so they will help you with the defense and they won't be too far out so that the opponent can easily destroy them. So you always have to be careful about that. You want to take the Giants down, but you only cap them when your opponent's Golem is passing the opponent's fort.
Zagara has to be very careful trying to transfer down here because they've taken the Vision Ward and they don't know where the rest of the enemy team is. It looks like Alternate Fancy trying to go in. They're going to be able to get a little bit of a damage in here on Lucifron, but Falcon was playing very, very passively and was able to immediately click away as soon as he saw any type of trouble. So that's not going to be a kill on Team Liquid. Alternate Fancy playing very aggressive here already because they've got that character. They have to win that aggressive early game.
They have so much CC. It's crazy. Every single hero that they have is running some kind of CC. We have, of course, Gravity Labs. There's the Howling Blast. You have Anubarak with both of his skills just doing so much control. And with Uther, you have another hero that just lends his stuns in there. Once you are on that stun lock, you're never going to get out of it.
Yeah, so it's going to be really, really scary for them.
Vortex, that douchebag, did you see that? Gets a living bomb and just moves directly to Lucifron. I think he was trolling his brother here a little bit because he knew that the damage didn't do too much just yet. So he just moved right next to him. Lucifron was trying to get away and Vortex was like, now, if I get damage, you get damage too. Wow, I can't believe he just did that.
Well, I mean, they're having a little bit of fun right now because it's Team Liquid. Why not? Wow, actually, does Team Liquid go for this? That's the question here. They're in a pretty good spot. They could go for just going for the fort, but it looks like no. They want to try and make this actually a question of a 5v5 in the mines. Can they actually win it, though? There's so much CC, as we were talking about before. Black Corp taking a lot of damage. Going to use the elevator to go back up. Right wing going to go down here. Lucifron trying to disengage, but not going to be successful in doing so. Vortex has to get out of here and hasn't used Promote in quite a bit of time. So that's going to be actually a lot of potential that's a little bit wasted here of going for that level 4 Promote.
Yeah, the trap for Alternate Fancy worked perfectly. It really worked well for them, and that's of course great getting those kills as the mines open. Now they're gonna get a huge surplus in skulls. Crosby is actually being attacked here as Falcon is starting to move back. With the death timers as low as they are at this level, you have Team Liquid back in full force in just a few seconds. Again, Muradin is already on the way. Vala is not revived yet though, and they can't take team fights yet.
Yeah, this is so incredibly scary. Oh my gosh, if Vortex is able to get out of here very, very barely, but now Falcon is in a lot of trouble. They're going to try and use the entrance to the mines to get another kill. Yes, Falcon's going to go down here. Alternate Fancy playing so incredibly well here. They're about to hit level 10. They've picked up level 10 now. They could easily get Lucifron here. The CC is unreal. And they're going to pick up that kill as well. And they now are going to have a pretty huge golem in their favor.
Uh-oh, Black Score, be careful. He can't die as well. It's already bad enough that they lost this many heroes. 9 kills against 0. That draft that we've seen here for Alternate Fancy is working so incredibly well, and we've been talking about this. If you're down one game in the best of series in this tournament, you have map choice. The loser always has the map choice, and it really looks like Alternate Fancy from the get-go had in their head, hey, we are preparing a strategy on Haunted Mines because nobody is playing this map, and if we lose one of those crucial games, we can pick Haunted Mines and we can just execute that strategy. Nobody else is really practicing this map this hard, so if we have a good build, if we have a good draft there, we can turn it around and force a third map, and that's exactly what they're currently doing.
What is Team Liquid up to, though? They have their heroics now. Can they actually catch out this Kerrigan? That's the question. Cleanse has been used. It's going to make her unstoppable for a couple of seconds. But Black Scorp trying to deal with Blumby in the backline here, and there's no peeling for her just yet. Meanwhile, they're trying to turn around onto the Zagara. There's the web wrap at the last second there. Going to be able to section off a little bit of the team here, but can they actually make this into a victory? Vortex now popping back out. The Maw was able to group everybody back up.
Oh!
Going to get caught by the slam and
Wow.
go down.
The Golem Slam takes it down. They're pushing with a 3-skull Golem now, taking the fort here, and that's exactly the big problem that you oftentimes have, that you're trying to disengage from a battle and you just run straight into the Golem stun. They already gave up the fort at the top lane. They said from the beginning, this is not going to happen, we can't save it, so they went down, made sure that their Golem took down the fort. So it's basically a pretty even exchange that we're seeing here. It depends on how much damage this Golem or this boss is going to do to the wall to the left. We have Gosa, which wasn't even used in the last fight on Arthur's. Web Blast for Anubarak. We're having the Phoenix, which was also in the game already. And besides that, it's Emerald Win for Brightwing. So not even going for the extra heal, but Emerald Win for the disengage against all these CCs and the stuns that we're seeing on the side of Alternate Fancy.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Gosa, but let's mention Gosa is coming out here instead of the Army of the Undead, which is a very different choice from what we normally see. I mean, we've seen a couple of Gosas come out here in EU before, but I don't think we've seen one. I don't think I've seen one, at least, in a bit. So it's a very, very good pickup here because it's going to help them get that pushing power that they so desperately need. They're going for the Siege Giants here.
Great jump, by the way, by Lucifer. Just in the last second, that gravity lapse was about to hit, and that would have hurt a lot. 12 against 12 all of a sudden. Yeah, think about that for a second. 9 kills against 2. That golem had nearly 100 skulls, but Team Liquid, just with that last engagement that they took there and the victory, they were able to get the same level of experience as their opponents. Like, how on earth do these guys do it? It's crazy. This is so damn good. They get the kills, they drop the fort, and now it was basically an even trade that they had, even though they only caught 3 skulls.
Yeah, this is actually really impressive, the fact that they are still able to survive all of this. Watching out for the bush, though, of course, as well. Because, you know, you're watching out for a Kerrigan. Kerrigan is just always in every single bush. You count to 5. You can't count your enemies. They're always in the bush next to you. All the ones that are missing. And that's exactly what Team Liquid's doing. They're being very cautious. Level 13, gonna go to them first.
Well, we have now, once again, at the top, let's have a quick look at that. Mines are not opening just yet, but they are apparently going to try and move to the bottom because of that, through the mines. Trying to set something up. It also helps Zagara to just put a few additional creep tumors in. Are they just going to wait at the bottom for 20 seconds for their opponents to enter?
It could very well be that. I mean, it's not like they're going to get a whole bunch of soaking done. It's not going to be like they're going to be able to change the entire course of the next couple of fights because level 13, you got a bit of time before you're going to hit level 16. But here comes all their opponents. Brightwing is now teleporting on in here, so now it's going to be a big fight. Lucifer taking a good amount of damage. There's the Maul to block out the exit here. Can they take out the Kerrigan? There's the Divine Shield pop. Lucifer trying to go back in here. The Phoenix doing a good amount of damage, trying to get Grand Packet out of the map. They're going to be successful. There's the Syndragosa to try and reinitiate here, but they're going to get at least 1 death here, 2 kills here on Alternate Fancy. Team Liquid taking a very good team fight.
It could have been so much worse even for Alternate. Look at Devis, he has like no hit points whatsoever. Kerrigan is moving back in, trying to maybe get a quick pick off, or at least a few skulls here, but there's the stun, just way too far. Darkmork is too confident in this case, and I have no idea what Kalthus was doing down there. He had no business in the mines whatsoever. Black Scorp says, thank you very much, my friend, and takes the kill casually with a quick multi-shot and a few hits after that. Now they have 66, 70 skulls already. They could get 100 skull golem here, and I do not know who's going to stop them.
Yeah, I don't really think that Alternate Fancy has the ability to stop them. They've got 2 members down. If they go into the mines, this is just asking for a whole bunch of issues. Looks like Blastcorp is just going to try and keep them busy for the time being, but Blumby, looking like he wanted to get that Howling Blast, knows that's probably not going to happen, especially with the Tumble available as well. But
that early game went so well for them. Alternate, they had such a great second golem, but then the kills, the fights that Team Liquid took, the control in those battles, once again, absolutely amazing. Shrink Ray even being used on the side of Tacita here. Nobody took up Mule, by the way, just to highlight it again. Mule is such an amazing talent on this map, but Tacita didn't even think about it. He just went straight for the static charge to get the extra damage in there. Now we have the push up at the top lane, and Team Liquid decides to defend. They are saying, we have a 100 skull golem. We are going to get that keep either way. You might try and push us down, but we are going to defend here, and this is of course one of the few chances that Alternate has to turn this around, and they are trying. Golem is going to come up. That's not really a golem. That's, I don't know what that is. That looks like a little frog, an ugly little frog, and it's going to get squished. There it is. Muradin putting his heel down for a second, and goodbye, buddy. Yeah, that was not even close.
Oh, and Alternate's actually pretty weak at this point as well. They've got a good amount of damage taken down here on Deviz and Happy. They're going to try and disengage here, and that's going to be the smartest decision here. The 100 skull golem from Team Liquid. Guess how healed it is. It's almost at, I don't know, 4/5 of its health. It's sitting in a really good spot right now. Now, finally, Alternate's going to be able to do a little bit of damage here. But this is almost a guaranteed forfeit keep because level 16 has been grabbed here by Team Liquid. There's the additional Psystorm talents. Darkmok trying to go on into the middle of the team. The silence too much though. Gonna get eliminated, and now Falcon doing so much damage to Blumby as well as Vortex as well. There's not much they can really do here. I think this is going to be game if they take this Grave Golem. They take the keep, and it has so much health.
They move in, it's on half health still, and they already killed 2 of the heroes. Lucifer is all the way up at the front, and they just go for it. They have the 16 talent as well, which helps them even more. That's the Stoneform on Lucifer, and they're moving in. The shields are nearly gone on the core. Team Liquid, oh my god, they've been saying earlier they're angry that they are the loser bracket. They want to win this tournament. They want to go to the finals, and they're showcasing this once more. Kerrigan is about to be back. Maybe a chance, not really. 10% on the core. This is game. This is Team Liquid taking the best of 3 series with a 2-0, advancing in the losers bracket to the next round, and Alternate Fancy is eliminated from the Enter the Storm tournament.
Unbelievable performance by Team Liquid. They take it with a 2-0, and especially that defense against the 97 Skull Golem. That was insane. At that point, Alternate Fancy was clearly ahead. They played a great fight in the mines. They get all the skulls. They feel they're in a great spot. And then all of a sudden, Team Liquid, they force a fight. They take 2 heroes down. They defend. And after the golem is over, they are on even footing with their opponents again. There was like no difference in experience, and the golems were at the exact same positions. It was absolutely incredible what they did there. So once again, Team Liquid going through another opponent in the losers bracket here. They just advance step by step. Their goal is the grand final. They want to go up against Gamers 2, who already reached the grand final, and if they keep this up, they might be able to pull that off. Guys, that was a sick series, and I hope that you enjoyed it, especially the last map was a pleasure to cast. I hope you liked that as well. If you did, give the video a thumbs up on YouTube, and make sure to subscribe to Khaldor TV if you haven't done it yet. Daily Heroes of the Storm content for you, and of course, if you have friends that like to see what the competitive scene of Heroes of the Storm is like, then make sure to share the channel and the videos with them. Had a pleasure casting for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm going to see you next time with more games here in the End of the Storm tournament. Have a great day. Bye-bye.